Big Mike is back with his hair and dreadlocks and some interesting fashion advice for fellow black people.
If I hear of someone whose fashion that I like and I know that they're a person of color, I try to make it a point. But the clothes have to be available. You know, I think we can all do some work to think about that balance in our wardrobes, you know.
Not buying too many clothes from white designers.
What does our closet look like and who's in it? Mm-hmm. Who are we supporting in it?
Right.
You know, and I think if you have the money to buy Chanel, then you have the money to buy everybody.
Right.
And so let us be mindful, I think would be my advice.
Let us be mindful to boycott clothing brands from white people. As strange as this is, we're all familiar with the black fragility problem plaguing a large number of a certain group of people in America. And this is America, where you have the right to boycott a clothing brand if you don't happen to like the race or ethnicity of the designer, right? Oh, wait, what's this? Oh, it's another one of those topics nobody in Conservative Inc. wants to talk about, the anti-BDS laws, which have been put in place in like half of the states in this country, where if you own a business and you do business, like contract business with the United States government, federally, locally, or state level, and you happen to boycott certain Israeli products because you just don't want to support that country for whatever reason, then you are banned from doing business with the United States government, period. Of course, you can not want to purchase any products from China or from Russia or Mexico, Canada, every country on planet Earth except for Israel. They're always special. Maybe they should just start putting tags on the clothes like certain grocery store chains started doing on food during the Black Lives Matter insurrection of 2020 when black supremacy really became systemic in this country. Well, they literally started putting tags on the food. Black-owned business. Black-owned. And then, you know, us normal people can see what products not to waste our money on. And speaking of black products, I'm sure that we all know that black beauty products are a high theft item in retail stores. You're not supposed to say why that is, but we all know that that is the case. And so for years, stores like Walmart, CVS, and Walgreens would have black beauty products behind a locked glass case until videos of those locked glass cases started going viral on social media. And then in 2020, again, the insurrection year, or the black crazies, then those big chains announced they were no longer going to be doing that because it's racist to protect high theft items. And we're still waiting for Don Lemon to be arrested, among many others, for numerous charges, including felony violation of the FACE Act, and sued civilly by the Department of Justice for violating the First Amendment rights of the churchgoers in Minnesota, for having their right to peacefully assemble violated by the illegal alien insurrectionists. And if you ever thought that liberals couldn't sink any lower, many of them are calling the churchgoers white nationalists and white supremacists. This bimbo is a regular CNN contributor and has a popular podcast.
So that is one of those white evangelical churches that turn out to vote for Donald Trump, 80+% of that sect of Christianity. These are the don't tread on me folks. These are the people who feel like America is for Americans and American only.
Well, gee, what a thought.
These are white nationalists. And the DOJ got their panties in a wad because these protesters went straight to them and addressed their hypocrisy. You, a gay black journalist, are, prime bait for them to drum up these charges. But so that's one issue.
Oh, so now I'd say it's a big if, because Pam Bondi really hasn't arrested anybody. All she does is just appear on Sean Hannity's show and complain about what liberals are doing to America and never does anything about it. But then if by some chance she finally does her job and arrests Don Lemon, then she's going to be called racist and homophobic.
And there's a certain degree of entitlement. I think people who are, in the religious groups like that, it's not the type of Christianity that I practice, but I think that they're entitled, and that entitlement comes from a supremacy, a white supremacy, and they think that this country was built for them.
Well, Don, do I need to mention the Nationality Act of 1790 when the first Congress that assembled after the establishment of this great country set immigration policy, and they literally said that the only people who are allowed to come here as immigrants and become citizens were white people. And if Pam Bondi doesn't indict him by, let's say, sundown tonight, then she needs to resign. Actually, she should have resigned a long time ago. She's more worthless than Jeff Sessions, because here is more evidence of Don Lemon providing material support for the criminals. But he's just a journalist. He just went there just to cover the event and bring them coffee. And once he realized that he broke several laws, including the FACE Act, which is a felony, he went all over the media and started saying that he had no idea what they were going to do. He just was there to be a journalist, and he didn't know that they were going to break into the church. But here is another piece of evidence on his own live stream showing that him and his cameraman and producer knew very well what was about to happen.
We are here. Now, do you think if you just have it, I think maybe if you just have it on the church, but if they see me, they're gonna know. No?
It just depends.
No, what?
Don't name the location.
I'm not naming the location, but I mean, I'm just wondering if
at
you
some
see
point,
me.
The
folks inside see me.
Are the congregants really on live instead of in service right now?
No, but they'll be like, "Why is Don Lemon here?"
Oh yeah, Sunday morning.
Sunday morning church.
Yeah. Okay, we'll see.
They'll be like, he's. Well, what else? It's Sunday, and we already said the church.
No, we didn't.
Yes, you said it.
No, I didn't.
No,
I did not.
We were saying that church is going on during Sunday.
Okay, that's what we said.
Clearly conspiring with the agitators to commit the crime and violate the First Amendment rights of the churchgoers. Joy Reid, the angry black woman who got fired from MSNBC for being too extreme even for them, is always doing the podcast rounds to talk to any loser podcast that will listen to her.
Is white people want to have privilege and they want to have non-white people get hurt, but they don't want to have to watch it. They don't want to have their souls implicated in it. And so because they're now watching their Gardner, they don't want to watch John Lewis get beat. They just want him to get beat without them having to see it and having to be accountable for it.
No, Fuzzball, we don't want you to get hurt. We don't want anybody to get hurt, which is why we often shine a spotlight on the black crime problem. And speaking of racial problems, this woman has a problem that white people prefer to date white people.
It's just a racial preference. Let's talk about it. The Danish deception has obviously prompted a ton of discourse on this app, but what I want to talk about is racial preferences in dating and why they're 100% problematic and 100% rooted in racism. Hinge, like one of the leading dating apps on the market, has an ethnic filter capacity, which enables users to filter out whole ethnicities that they don't want to date.
Despite dating apps being a plague on society, it sounds like Hinge is at least trying to implement a realistic filter that people apply in real life. What a good idea. Long overdue.
On its website, Hinge purports to have the filter to empower black people, to empower people of color to date within their race.
Of course, because they knew that lunatics like this would say that it's racist. So they had to come out and say, oh, just not for all races. Because, I mean, let's be honest, the majority of people prefer to date within their own race. And it's nothing to do with skin color. It has to do with shared values, shared heritage, shared tradition, wanting your children to look like you, avoiding the unnecessary and ongoing endless friction that certain kinds of relationships and in-laws cause in relationships.
Which I do think makes sense. But what Hinge fails to acknowledge is that by having this ethnic filter, they empower white people to disempower people of color, to decide they don't want to date these people because it's a racial preference.
So the filter is great that black people can use it, but white people shouldn't be allowed to. It's racist when you do. This woman's having some dating problems that she would like to share with us as well.
Dating a white man basically means at the end of a long day, you talk about the multiple ways you were microaggressed, and he looks at you in the face and says, Yeah, but I don't think they meant it like that.
50 years ago, Muhammad Ali tried to help people of all races avoid these kinds of problems by saying this common sense wisdom out loud.
When you say integration, it comes under intermarriage too, right? All been together.
Right, sure.
And I'm sure no intelligent white person watching this show, or no intelligent white man in his or her right white mind want black boys and black girls marrying their white sons and daughters, and in return introducing their grandchildren as half-brown, kinky-haired black people.
No, that's not true.
Why would you want to do that?
Because I don't think I'm any different from you. You see.
Yeah, we much different.
I mean, I think society's made us different.
You know we're different. We all together.
But society's made us different.
No.
It's just the color of your skin. It has nothing to do with customs and culture. God forbid, certain genetic differences and things like temperament and behavior.
Not society. God made us different.
No, we're just human beings. He made all of us.
We all, listen, bluebirds fly with bluebirds, red birds want to be with red birds. Listen, tell me when I'm wrong. Pigeons want to be with pigeons.
But
tell
we
me when I'm wrong.
We
should have, they don't have intelligence, but yet they stay together. We should have more intelligence than them, right? Buzzards are with buzzards. Buzzards are with buzzards.
Back then, those ideas were the norm, but now we're living in the twilight zone where people must pretend to believe the absurd. There have been some very interesting black people throughout history, like Muhammad Ali, who have been trying to speak some common sense to society, including the creator of the Boondocks cartoon, who had this to say now over 2 decades ago about mainstream black culture.
I really want you guys to understand that time is running out. And a lot of black people say that, but for real. Part of why the civil rights movement has been so successful, and part of why those who have come after in terms of our leadership have been able to maintain a presence, is that black people have always had a certain amount of moral currency that we have been using. And let me be the first to tell you, that's used up. White America has been watching us act like fools for a long enough time where any sympathy they may have had to our plight is completely gone.
And this is over 20 years ago. It's from like 2003.
You're approaching a country that, forget hating black people and not hating black people, they just don't care.
We have black fatigue. But thankfully, there are still people today carrying that torch, trying and hoping to enlighten those in the black community who need a little help, like Carmen Jacy, Andre Williams, and Ray Valentina. And if you want to support my work, then buy me a coffee by clicking the link in the description below. It's a great crowdsourcing platform that people can use to support their favorite content creator, because YouTube takes 30% off the top of any super chat or super thanks. So click the link in the description below, head on over there, and check it out.